All right, hey, it's Rob, and this is a video literally nobody has been asking for, but sometimes I just make this stuff for my own entertainment, and if anybody else is entertained, well, it's just a bonus. Today we are talking about this. It is, in fact, an 8-track tape that I recorded in 1980. It is an entire album of original songs. If you wonder where all this started, well, this is it. This is ground zero for the song stylings of Rob Disner, going way back 43 years, if you can believe it. Anyway, so last time I checked, this actually still plays. But if you are thinking of messing around with 8 tracks and you think it would be fun and retro and cool, I have to report that by this point they are all broken. So every couple of weeks I'll play an 8-track just for a laugh, and I'll get 2 or 3 songs, and then the tape will break and I'll have to toss it in the trash. So I managed to digitally convert this a few years ago, and then I actually recorded an 8-track tape player playing this maybe last year or something like that. And I think that's the last time I'm going to play that. I just doubt it will hold up anymore. 8-track tapes, of course, have a continuous loop. They have a splice, and at this point, 40 years after the last 8-track was released, I think the last 8-track ever was Madonna's debut album, or one of the last ones, and that was 1983. So by now, the glue that holds that splicing tape together has disintegrated, and so you'll get 2 or 3 songs in, and then that's it. The tape will split. So that's it for playing this thing. But anyway, so I did in fact record an original album of my own songs. Way back in 1980, I had been playing guitar maybe 2 years by that point. In 1979, in December, I had my bar mitzvah. I became a man, a wonderful time in my life. And one of my presents was a new stereo. It was something I really wanted. I had a little portable radio before that, I think. So this thing was huge. It was a Yorks, W-Y-O-R-X stereo. It was gigantic, maybe that big by that big, and it did almost nothing. So it had a tuner and it had an 8-track deck. That was it. But interestingly enough, one of the things it did was record. And I think, it was just a coincidence that I walked into the store, and of course that's what the salesman sold us, and went to the store with my mom, Woodward Avenue in Birmingham. I remember the day going there and buying it, and we didn't know any better, so that's, what they were trying to push out the door on us. Anyway, but it had, like I said, a recording function, so not only could you record songs off the radio, which I often did. I listened to American Top 40 all the time, and, would just record stuff on the tapes, then I could listen to the songs whenever. And you also had the option to plug a microphone in. So, just like I said, it was a coincidence, but I was playing guitar, I was, interested in writing songs, and I had this recorder in my room, and it recorded right onto an 8-track tape, but it was something. So, I sat down one day, probably I'm thinking in the spring of 1980, I was still 13, and I just started to record my original songs. And how did I do it? Well, I must have written the lyrics ahead of time, and then I just played whatever chords I happened to know how to play and made up melodies as I was going. I'm sure I did not put much prep work into doing any of this stuff, and so probably, an hour later, although I stopped and started, probably took me a few days, but in a total amount of time that probably added up to around an hour, I had this whole 45-minute tape here of original songs. So I'm going to talk to you about the songs. I'm going to confront my teenage racist past and my, delve a little bit into my psyche back then and current events, what was going on in the world, what I was thinking about back then, what I was trying to do. And when I listened back to this just a little while ago before I did this video, I really, brought up a few things that, it's not totally comfortable for me to speak about, even though it was 43 years ago and I was 13 years old. But that's how it was back then. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or try to hide anything. So anyway, starting off here, the first song is called To the Dentist. And I'm sure I just wrote about things that were happening at the time of my life. I probably had just come from the dentist or was going to the dentist. And that's where this one came from. This one is, out of all the songs on here, one of the closest to actually having a structure, chord sequence that repeats in a verse and a chorus. And most of these songs are just stream of consciousness, basically. But this one, kind of seems more like a song than most of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When my teeth are really hurting me, and I need so bad to be set free. When I feel the pain are coming on, and I know we'll be real strong. Oh yeah. I go to the dentist, to the dentist, to the dentist, to the dentist.
Next up, it's a song called You're Going the Wrong Way, a morality tale. I don't know what motivated me to do this. It was just about people doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and I said, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. This is wrong way.
I hate to see people just like me wasting their time so foolishly. To that I say, you're going the wrong, you're going the wrong, you're going the wrong way.
All right, apparently I was being lazy and didn't feel like getting out of bed this day, so I wrote this next song called It Takes a Lot to Wake Me Up. And maybe, again, that's just what was happening in my life. I didn't want to get up and go to school or something, so what 13-year-old does.
Get out of bed. Oh, come on, do I have to up sleepyhead? Oh man, out of bed. Why, I'm sick or something. Out of bed. Why? Up right now. Come on, give me a few more minutes. Up to sleepy cow. Shh, come on, get out of bed. Why? Get out of bed. No, out of bed. Get out of bed.
All right, I can't really explain why I wrote a song about being captured by a tree. Really nothing that I can remember other than I used to spend a lot of time in trees. We used to have a tree in our backyard, and we would climb up all the time. I remember my friend Mike, who lived down the street, also liked to climb up his tree, but he fell out and broke his arm. So seemed to never happen to me. I guess I was pretty good at climbing trees.
When I'm in a tree, things seem very high to me. When I'm way up high, I can see all birds fly. Help me, been captured by a tree. Help me, been captured by a tree. Help me, been captured by a tree. Help me.
All right, this one is called Walk Away, and yeah, I don't know about this one. It's the opposite of being proactive, I guess. This song is basically saying, hey, if you see anything going on, just turn around and go in the other direction. Just pretend it's not happening.
When you see a fire, walk away. Temperatures getting higher. Walk away. Just walk away. When you see a boat, walk away. See that it don't float. Walk away. Just walk away. Walk away. I know you can walk away.
Hey, popping back in because I missed one. This one's called Eat and Run, and I just remember I had a band with my friend Joel. He played drums, I played guitar, and we did a little concert in the den with his mom and my mom. We were called Pyramid. We even made a sign and put it behind us, and I remember this was one of the songs we played. It's called Eat and Run. I don't know what it's about.
No, it's late. Time is great. Don't you worry. In no hurry. Remember this, my last wish. Time has come. Eat and run. Time for this, time for that, time for gloves, time for hat, time for nothing. Is all but come on, baby, eat and run.
So I used to go to summer camp every year, and maybe that's what motivated this song. It's called Basic Survival Skills. Of course, if you look on the 8-track there, it is split. So I didn't know when the tape would end or whatever, so you would just play, and then it would split to the second track, and you can hear it just skipping right through to the next track, and that's what happened on this song, Basic Survival Skills.
I don't care where you go, just tell me when you arrive. I don't care where you stay, just try to survive. With basic survival skills, all you need to get by. Basic survival skills, all you need to do is try.
So this one is probably related. I used to, like I said, go to summer camp and spent a lot of time in the pool and spent a lot of time at the beach. I was never and have never been a good swimmer, but so maybe that's what motivated this song. It's called Lifeguard.
Saw the train coming round the bend, knew what I wanted to be right then. Saw the train come down the track, clickety-clack, to be a lifeguard, helping people to swim. Lifeguard, helping people to win. All the men on the TV screen, advertising Afro Sheen. Then I heard someone scream, jump right in if you know what it means to be a lifeguard, helping people to swim. Lifeguard, helping people to win. Lifeguard, all the pretty gals. Lifeguard, like the ones with girls.
All right, well, the world was changing in 1980. Of course, we had the Mattel Electronics handheld video games. That was very exciting. If you knew anybody who had one of those and they brought it to school, you would just crowd around them and watch them play this dumb little game with red little LED blips on it. And that's probably what motivated this next song here called Electronic World.
I don't like to see things, and I don't like to see. The thing I don't like to see the most is our high technology. This electronic world, this electronic people, this electronic world, this electronic people, this electronic world, this electronic people, this electronic world with this electronic people. Beep, 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 beep. The only thing you hear today is beep, 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 beep. In this electronic world with this electronic people, this electronic world with this electronic people, this electronic electronic people, this electronic world with its electronic people.
This is the only cover. This is a cover of a Neil Diamond song. We used to drive out to the Catskill Mountains and stay at a resort out there every summer. And it never failed. My parents loved to play Neil Diamond in the car on the 8-track player. So this is my sister and I trying to sing his song Suleiman and just cracking up the whole time.
Taking me home, she calling. Bring home my name. I'm the wings of flight.
All right, so this is where the album takes a dark turn. Of course, this was 1980, the Carter administration, the hostage crisis, a lot of stuff, bubbling up in the Mideast, and it bubbled right into my songs. So this is about, please let the hostages go and, what was happening in current events there. I think this also has a verse, the song's called Out of Here, where I said, all you 8th grade babies go back to kindergarten. So I must have been in 8th grade. And I remember I was hanging out with these girls and I thought they were kind of immature and silly. And so this is probably my message to them.
Get those people out of here. They don't belong anywhere. Get those people out of here. They don't belong anywhere. Monster Ayatollah, let our people go. Mr. Ayatollah, let our people go. Get those people out of here. They don't belong anywhere. Get those people out of here. They don't belong anywhere. Hey, all you Russians, get out of Afghanistan while you can. Hey, all you Russians, get out of Afghanistan while you can. Get those people out of here. They don't belong anywhere. Get those people out of here. They don't belong anywhere. All you 8th grade babies, go back to kindergarten. All you 8th grade babies, go back to kindergarten.
This is Radio Blues. Again, I listened to a lot of radio back then. Everyone did. I mean, that's, what else did we have? We had TV with, 3 stations or whatever. So I listened to a lot of radio. I had to cut this out pretty quick because I was just tuning in different stations along with singing my song called Radio Blues here. So we'll just get the beginning of it and move right along.
I come home from school one day. I hear my radio play. Try to find the right station. Oh, there comes in a static. I got the Radio Blues.
You got the Michael Stevens Show. Get out your tickets because here's tonight's winning number.
Next up, this is called Black Holes. I remember the riff was written by my friend John Myers. He jumps in here and does a few songs here. And so we were, into Dungeons and Dragons and, Omni Magazine and science fiction and all that kind of stuff. So we wrote a song about black holes.
Black holes coming to get ya. Black holes never get ya. Black holes day and night. Black holes out of sight. Big ball of nothingness on my doorstep. like an abandoned baby. It's gonna eat me up.
This one is called Funk You Up. It is a parody, I guess, of a disco song, or, commenting on the disco era. 1980 was the tail end of it, and there was, of course, a big divide between the rockers and people who liked disco, and there was, more than a little bit of a racist element, in that sentiment too, where, disco was, music for, black people and, gay people at the disco, and these were, rockers, and we were, not in favor of those things. Again, it just was what was happening back then, and, you really had to pick a side. I definitely was on the rock and roll side at the time, although I love disco music now, but that was kind of, like I said, where our heads were at back then. So this is just making fun of disco music and people going out dancing and all that kind of stuff.
Get down, disco babies, come on, this is your ladies' night. So when it feels right, gonna funk you up. Get it all tight on the disco dancing floor. Gonna funk you up, funk you, baby. Come on, all you hooked up gentlemen, take your foxy ladies out. Come on, you know it's alright. This is John on the drums. Alright, come on, baby. You know you're walking down the street one night. You ain't got no place to go to. You said you disco baby, you're so sad. So put on those disco shoes. Be wearing your disco smile. Handsome man coming down the street. Look, he's got something to eat in the disco. In the disco. On the disco. By the disco. Ow! Now it's time to go to sleep. Have you had enough to eat? You ain't gonna go to sleep? Go to the disco instead. That's a disco game that we all play. And disco sucks.
All right, this one was about a friend of ours called Freddie Abu. His real name was Fadi Abu. He was from Iraq, and he came to school, and he was friends with both my friend John and I. We hung out with him a lot. This is kind of a song about him. Again, I could have handled this topic in a more sensitive nature, but I was 13 years old. We grew up with a lot of people who were Chaldean, which means they were Arabic, but they were Christian, and I believe they were persecuted, and a lot of people who, were Chaldean moved to the Detroit area. Matter of fact, it's still a huge population in Dearborn, other areas of the city, and where I grew up in Oak Park, we started to see an influx of people from Iraq, and my friend Fadi, or Freddie, was one of these people, and so we wrote this song about him to, just comment on his life and experiences he had. I remember at one point he told us in Iraq he was making wine and he had to squish grapes with his bare feet. I don't know, we thought that was funny, so we put it into the song.
Abu, the green sizzle of a red electric frog, dancing on the graves, cause in Iraq there are no lakes. Motor train, oh yes, boy news, 10 camel blues. He hates music, he don't know how to choose it. Fadi, oh Fadi, when will you learn? Purple feet have no say. Fadi, oh Fadi, how many grapes will you squish today? Woo!
All All right, here's one that I can definitely see has the influence of the Cars. I was always trying to sound like Ben Orr from the Cars and sing like with this faux English accent. Ben's not English either, but he did the same thing. And I had that affectation here. Anyway, this is a song called Hello Gertrude. Who knows why?
Hello, Gertrude. How do you do? Oh, Gertrude, why don't you be true? 'Cause we'll be riding around the block tonight, but we will be home by the curfew's light. Alright. I know, Gertrude, what you do to me. I'm gonna have to set you free. Your love ain't doing me one bit of good like it should. We'll be rocking around the clock tonight, but we won't be home by the middle of the night. Alright.
All right, here's a song about Adam and Eve. I was spending a lot of time in Hebrew school back then, and maybe the Bible was on my mind. So this is called Adam's View.
I was in the garden one day. I heard a voice say, "Come this way." Suddenly I was surrounded by food. My temptation grew and grew. Well, I guess I knew it was wrong, but I tried it anyway. And I'm really sorry for it, but I couldn't do much that day.
All right, another song about inflation. This is probably the most racist song on the tape. Of course, there was a lot of anti-Arabic sentiment back then, and we had the hostage crisis, and we had the gas crisis, and everyone felt like we were being taken advantage of, and so that's kind of the place where this one was coming from. And again, like I said, I'm just gonna put it out there and play it. It's not my proudest moment, but I was 13, and this was what was on my mind back then.
Inflation is getting the best of us. Those damn heirs are cheating us. All our shekels are beginning to spoil. We should boycott Iranian oil. So what if we don't have any oil? Then we won't have to go very far. Big deal, no transportation. So what if we'll be a slow nation? Let them burrow in the sand. We don't need their gas in. Let them see what it is like to have to ride through the desert in a bike. So what if we don't have any cars? Then we won't have to go very far. Big deal, no transportation. So what if we'll be a slow nation?
All right, and to end it on a light note, this is called This Song Makes No Sense, and it's literally nonsense words, and the chorus is This Song Makes No Sense. This whole tape pretty much makes no sense. But anyway, that's what I was doing when I was 13, and I still have it here, and, now I am sharing it with the world for better or worse. All right, counting back down from 8 to 1, and we're going to wrap it up here. Later.
This song makes no sense. 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 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.